How do you build a teenager who's struggling to raise their siblings alone in The Sims 4? Well, sit back and let me show you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. You're watching Just a Mom That Sims. I'm KT, and I'm here today for another Sims 4 CAS build. So if you like to have fun and you like a good story, please consider liking, subscribing, following, commenting. Just do all the things. So I am building a teenager and her twin siblings, and our teen's name is Macy Crook. Now, she is for a brand new series entitled A Sister's Secret. Let me go ahead and give my normal disclaimer. I do not edit my voiceovers when I do speed builds or cast voiceovers. So please forgive any stumbling, bumbling, and my slow southern United States drawl. So anyway, yeah, I'm building Macy. You saw the sim I started with. I randomized a few times to get to her because I really liked a lot of her features. Now, you can see I've already changed a lot of her facial features as far as her shape. I mean, I changed her chin, her lips, her cheeks, like her cheek bones, everything except for her eyes. I did make them a little bit bigger, and I'm probably going to go back to her face. I am speeding my way through this. Now, Macy Crook is a teenager who has unexpectedly found herself raising her twin siblings, who you will also see me make in this cast build. It'll be closer to the end. They are toddlers, a boy and a girl, but we'll talk about them when we get to them. Now, Macy, I'm struggling with exactly how I want her to look because I do want her to look like a teen, but also not. Like, I want her to look like a teen that has maybe been through some things. She looks a little older because she's had some hard knocks thrown at her in life, right? Now, that's not too hard to do in The Sims 4 because usually your teens come out looking older anyway. Now, I really like this look for her. Macy, I kind of struggle with her skin tone because I wanted her to have like a olive type complexion, because I want her to be kind of ambiguous as to like what her roots might be. Now, I know that she's going to have nails because Macy's going to have some trade type hobbies that she's not that great at because, of course, she is a sim just starting out, right? And that's the thing. She's supposed to be at home, living in comfort with her parent or parents, worried about bills, but that's not where she's found herself. She's found herself in this little rundown house in Strangerville. Now, I built that on a live, so actually check out the lives tab. We did this little house. We made sure we used a lot of stuff from City Living, but we used things from all the packs, even Jungle Adventure. So that build is uploaded to the gallery under my EAID at Just a Mom That Sims. So check out that build, download it if you like to use it. But yeah, she's found herself there now. Her parents, something has happened where they are on their own. I don't want to really talk about that so much because that's going to be episode 1. You're going to learn exactly what happened to her parents. Now, this bracelet is a bracelet that her mom gave her. Like, it was her mom's bracelet. So she wears it every day. She wears it to sleep. She wears it everywhere she goes because it's something that means a lot to her. It has sentimental value, right? So Macy also wears some makeup sometimes because she's alone. There's no adult to regulate, what she wears or what she does. Now, that said, Macy can be put together pretty well sometimes. Now, Macy and her siblings don't have a whole lot, but they were able to bring some clothes that they had, from their old home. Not all of them because they kind of had to leave in a rush. I will say that. So you won't see them in the most rundown clothes, but you also won't see them with the, hottest new outfits. Now, Macy's gonna keep her nails done again because that's part of her hobbies that she's hoping to monetize. But just like most people, Macy has found out because she's had to leave the home even before 18. Now, she used to say, oh, when I'm 18, I'm gonna leave. Because sometimes she would just be a little bit, rebellious or at least anxious to grow up. But Macy is 16 years old, out on her own with twin toddlers. Now, she actually had enough money from her parents to be able to get this small, rundown home, but she doesn't have much left. She has about 3 to 500 simoleons. I'll decide when we start. Now, another thing about me, if you're new here, I don't script my series. I definitely come up with these ideas. Like for Macy, I know I want to have a teen, raising her siblings. I know I want some struggle. And I may have a couple of points along the way, but that's it. Everything is unscripted, so it can kind of lead to chaos. That can be good or bad. But anyway, yeah, she's going to struggle. So we'll find out what she has, but definitely no more than 500 simoleons. And then Macy knows how to do nails and a couple of other things, but she's quickly realizing that that is not going to cover the bills and feeding her siblings. She's not going to be able to do all of those things with the little bit of money she's bringing in. Plus, she goes to school all day. So Macy is at a crossroads. Right now, she's been calling out of school a lot so that she can, take care of her siblings or at least earn a little bit of change so she can try to pay bills. But the lights have been turned out before. Now, Macy came to her decision by, not by choice, but, some social services showed up and they were going to be split. Her and her twin siblings, they were going to be split apart and she was going to be split from them. So they would have ended up probably in 3 different homes. And she decided to take them and run off. And so she went to Strangerville, where a lot of people don't ask a lot of questions. Even though there's a huge military presence there, people just kind of keep to themselves. So it's like a good environment for her to raise her siblings without worrying about some social services coming and taking her siblings. Now, when she moved to Strangerville, she did enroll in some school, but they don't come looking for you. They're not going to file like a family in need or something if you don't show up. No one's going to report you for not going to school, especially at 16. So she's making it work. Let's talk about Macy's traits. Macy is shady, creative, active, and a klepto. And these are things that she may have to lean into for survival. And I think you're going to love this episode. Macy is also a part of my Sim Criminal series. I debated whether to put her on whims or not. Now, I'm going to randomize her first sibling. And I kind of went back and forth with this quite a bit. So I'm going to create a male sibling, a toddler first. And what you have to do to randomize a twin, you have to first create the first sim. And then we'll come back and talk about how to randomize a twin. Now, this will probably be a pro tip. But anyway, this is Maximilian Crook. So meet Max. We call him Max for short. No one ever says his full name. Max is inquisitive and wild. Now, this haircut, I think it may be from the For Rent pack, but I really love it on him. It's kind of giving what I need. I wanted something like a little more curly, but in this pack, or wavy at least. It's like you either have really curly or really straight for the toddler boys especially. So I just decided to go with this one, but for their ambiguous heritage, I would have loved to have something that was like a little wavy. But yeah, this is him. Now, I did use something from that new pack Businesses and Hobbies, that little one-piece sweater. But they live in Strangerville, so it's hot a lot of the times, but it also can get cold in Strangerville. If you played in Strangerville, you know that sometimes it will even snow. So I'm going to focus on them more warm weather type outfits, like their sleeping outfits are designed to keep cool. I'm putting more short sets, but I'm definitely gonna have at least 2 outfits with some sleeves and long pants because it can get cold there. Now, also forgive any background noise you hear. They are doing some yard work outside. So yeah, but anyway, I am on Maximilian's winter outfits. And I always put my Sims 2 winter outfits even when I'm in a rush because I like to have one with and without a coat. So that's what I'm doing for Maximilian. Now, yeah, Maximilian is wild. He likes to run. He likes to play. He doesn't care if he's inside or outside. Maximilian is the oldest of the twins, but ironically, his sister is going to be the more independent one. He is not fussy though or needy, but he definitely needs more guidance than his sister, maybe even a little more more attention. Now, this is a pro tip in The Sims 4. If you want to randomize a twin, you first have to create the sim. So here is Max. Now I'm going to click randomize twin at the bottom instead of randomize sister. Now we have Melody Crook. So here she is, and all I'm going to do is probably go in and adjust her weight just a little bit down, because the kids and the family tend to run a little slim in the Crook family. So I didn't have to change much on her facial features. It was a good randomization on the first time with her. Now I am looking for kind of a wavy hair, but I don't know if I'm excelling in it. So I will make something work, and I can always make sure we get there when she's older. I think I actually go with this one, even though it's not appearing as wavy, but it's French braided. So how do you know for sure? And I will use some variations that are wavier for different looks. And I like to do this. So for example, if it's the swimsuit outfit, I like to try to find a hairstyle that would match the hair my Sims have if it were wet, if that makes sense. But anyway, for Melody is a charmer, and she is very independent. She gains skills really fast, and that is something that her sister Macy is really gonna love and depend on, because she can give her affection and love, but this little girl will learn on her own easier. And she won't even want help sometimes. And that'll be great for Macy, because Macy is already overwhelmed. I can tell you that. Because whoever would expect to be on their own as a teen, and then to be raising two toddler siblings at that. So even raising two siblings is a challenge, but to be both toddlers and twins, that's a lot. But you know what? The Crook family is strong. They are resilient. And I think they're going to be okay. And they're going to have an interesting story. Hey, this dress comes from the Life and Death pack, I believe, and I really love this dress. It's kind of odd and old school, but I love it. And I am going to paint her little nails again. That is one of her sister's little trade secrets, so she does do her sister's nails. Now, the thing with Macy is balancing school. This is back to the older sister. Balancing school was a bit too much, so she goes sometimes, but I think it's going to be good for her if she skips classes and ends up going to, like hobby meetups to learn skill sets, or to even maybe find a mentor if she has time to do that. One thing would be great is when the toddlers actually get in school, because then Macy could have time to at least be home all day and get some things done, make some money, get some skills. That is hard when the toddlers are, here with her. Now, another thing she's been having to do to get skills and to make money is to hire nannies and babysitters, which is very costly. But sometimes she can, get them to daycare, because she was able to get so many hours of pay for daycare by the Sim government, but it doesn't cover the whole week. So she has to manage her expectations and manage what she's doing. But anyway, Macy is doing everything she can. She has really stepped up as a big sister. And, she is at a crossroads. I know this whole story sounds like a crossroads, but I mean, she's at an additional crossroads where she's going to have to make tough decisions, because she is getting so tight. She can't keep paying bills and feeding the babies and doing everything. But even when she gets frustrated, she knows that she's never going to give the twins up. That is her family. She loves them. So she's got to do what she's got to do. Now, I hope you enjoyed this CAS build of the Crook family. Please tune in for my new series, A Sister's Secret. And until next time, remember, keep simming, be happy, and always have a blessed day. Bye bye.